there was an idea
to bring together a group of remarkable people.
To see if we could become something more.
So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
that they never could.
Hi there, welcome to Pure Cinema. My name's Bo. Two things. This will be a spoiler-free review of Avengers: Infinity War. This is obviously a few days after it's been released worldwide, so all of the mega fans I expect will have seen it already. But so there will be some allusions to how I feel about the film, which might be considered an extremely minor spoiler to some people. But I think at this point, if you haven't seen it, you don't care enough about it. And my spoilers shouldn't bother you too much at all, I really think. And the second thing is that Emma hasn't actually seen this movie yet, so she is not here reviewing it with me. She's not really the biggest superhero fan, and she hasn't seen that many Marvel films, so she doesn't feel like she's missing out on a lot. And frankly, my expectations of this film weren't high. I'm not a huge fan of superhero movies myself. With my work, I saw this film, and I've seen a number of Marvel films. Recently, in their defense, Marvel films have been solid, particularly with Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther coming out in the last 12 months or so. So they have been relatively solid, but the last time we saw an Avengers film, it was Age of Ultron, which frankly was a steaming pile of dog shit. So, you know, my expectations were a little bit all over the place. All your favorite characters are there, except for maybe a couple of relatively minor characters in the universe. So there's fans of the original material and obviously of the film series will probably find a lot to enjoy here. And to be honest with you, this film exceeded my expectations. It is probably one of the better films in the MCU. I'm the kind of person that likes a slightly darker take on a superhero film. My favorite superhero film ever is Batman Begins. My Dark Knight's obviously quite good. Logan, I really enjoyed Logan. And as far as the MCU goes, my favorite would probably be Winter Soldier, the second Captain America movie. It deals with some pretty dark stuff at times, and this film takes that and then ramps it up to 11. I would say this: if you plan on bringing your 6-year-old to go and watch this movie because, hey, they had a fun time with Thor Ragnarok, or hey, they had a fun time with Spider-Man Homecoming, I might warn you against that, because this film does deal in some pretty heavy stuff. In terms of the cinematography, it's mostly pretty solid. One of my major gripes with these sort of films is that they have a lot of shaky cam. A lot of the shaky cam is a creative choice. It's not because it just happens to be shaky as they're trying to follow action, and we know that because when you have a situation where, you know, the Hulk is trying to beat up Thanos, which is 2 CGI characters, computer generated images, and you've still got shaky cam. Like, there isn't a literal camera there. I don't know why it's shaky. It's a creative choice, and it's a creative choice that really bugs me. So that kind of drags me out of the story a little bit. My knowledge of movies and my knowledge of the hero's arc, the hero's story, just general stories, 3-act structure, the whole bit, led me to believe that this movie would end a certain way, and it didn't. And I really enjoyed that about this film. But my knowledge of pop culture tells me that there's a second part to this story. There's a whole other phase of Marvel Cinematic Universe films to come out. And that knowledge, that thought process just immediately takes me out of the story, takes me out of the film. This ending would be a tremendous way to end the series, in my opinion. It would have been really heartfelt, really emotional, and quite fitting. It's a lot better than I expected it to be. And if you are a fan of the universe, I expect that you're going to give this 4.5, 5 stars. I'm going to give it 3.5.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
There's a whole lot of opinions about this film out there, and if you have one, please leave it in the comments below. But do remember, this is a no spoiler review, so please don't ruin the movie for anybody else. It is a cinematic event. Make sure, if you haven't already seen it, please do go and see it in the cinemas. It's well worth your time. I'm going to see it twice, and I'll make sure that Emma comes and sees it as well. If you liked the video, please give us a physical like, and don't forget to subscribe for more Pure Cinema.